been said that anything can happen in motorsports. But even knowing that, the final round of the 2018 ATV National Motocross Championship was a shocker, as Joel Hendrick's championship dream snapped when his chain snapped in the first moto of the finale, opening the door for veteran Chad Wienen to take the lead while Hendrick pushed his machine back to the pit. He'd returned to the racetrack, but was unable to salvage enough points to hold Wienen back. And as the 44 won the first moto, he reclaimed the points lead. Hendrick would come back and dominate Moto 2. The question was, could Wienen score enough points to hold Hendrick back in the championship? An emotional moto win for Hendrick. But by 1 point, Wienen would score the title, courtesy of first and third place finishes at the finale. 6 titles for Wienen and a very motivated Hendrick for 2019. Expect this new season to be one for the ages as Wienen goes for Title 7. The world's center of racing, a perfect place to kick off the 2019 ATV National Motocross Championship sanctioned by AMA Pro Racing. Daytona International Speedway hosting the first ever vintage Supercross race. We'll be sharing the racetrack with our ATV machines today. Always good to be able to pit out of the NASCAR garages. Always good to see new talent. Alan Myers on the 24, Cody Ford on the 52. They are rookies. Hayden Mickelson back for another run this year. Brandon Hogue on the 26, he is a rookie. The veteran Ronnie Higgerson back this season. Missed a lot of action last year. You saw Wesley Wolf's machine. Here's Nick Janusa out of New Jersey, looking to step up the game. Here's Sammy Rowe, ready to rip it up today at Daytona, having a good time. Dylan Tremelin looking to up his game as well. Jeff Rastrelli back with the Masters of Baldwin Motorsports. He's always a contender, looking for the victory today. He is a Florida native. But there's the #1 plate back on the Wienen Motorsports Yamaha of Chad Wienen. But getting that title back last year pushed him to the brink. We'll see if he can get another.
All right, here we are, 2019 Daytona International Speedway round 1. Just it's been a really good off season for us. Very busy. Went to Argentina and did an event there. Just kind of got a drop under my belt, so I feel like I'm very confident coming into this round. And you know, I've won this event 3 years consecutively out of 4. So this place has been very good to me, and the starts are so key. But this year, I'm gonna be racing with some dirt bikes that'll be on the same day, so that'll be interesting. But as far as my program, it's been about the same, and you know, I feel very confident on my machine, and I feel like we get out of here with a good podium position and get back out to the outdoors and see what we can do there. And it looks like a very nice weather for the weekend, and I got some family and friends that are going to be here, so looking forward to that, and let's get this party started.
Well, good to see the champ is in fine form, but everyone will start gunning for him now as the season's about to begin. And in the Supercross format, we'll have heat races followed by a main event next. Coverage of ATV Motocross is brought to you by Rocky Mountain ATV MC and by Maxis. Hello everyone, welcome back to Daytona International Speedway, our 2019 championship opener for the ATV National Motocross Series. Jason Wygant giving you the call. This is heat race #1. Rocky Mountain on board with Jeffrey Rastrelli, and Rastrelli wheelies off the line. Gonna get pulled by Chad Wienen, who puts the Yamaha up front immediately. Rastrelli into second, and we'll get a good view of what it's like to try to attack the #1. As the race would extend, Rastrelli would keep a little heat on the champ, definitely showing a familiarity with the Florida soil. Although to be honest, Wienen spends a lot of his off-season down here, but Rastrelli is a Florida native. And really just stepping up the game, I feel, in general this year, really gelling with the Baldwin Motorsports Honda. Rastrelli and Thomas Brown have been in a tremendous battle for third best in the series the last couple of years, and both of them trying to nip at the heels of Wienen and Joel Hendrick to try to be consistent race winners. And you can see Rastrelli had the pace to battle with Wienen early in this heat race. The packed grandstands here on the infield at Daytona. And Rastrelli giving them plenty to see as he kept the pace up and the pressure on. until this. Watch, going to try an outside line and set himself up for a jump. He stalls, and there goes Wienen. Alan Myers, the rookie on a Yamaha, would move up to the second place spot. Rastrelli all the way back to fifth. Would have to work on Ford and Rowe, but he wasted no time making some passes because these heat races are for gate pick in the main event. So he knew he wasn't going to be able to catch Wienen, but he had to at least try to get to second place. Look at this move on Rowe here. As Wienen styling through the infield section of the course. Here's Rastrelli trying to get the rookie Myers, runs out of time. So Alan Myers showing what he's capable of, going toe-to-toe with the best pros in the business, moving up from the amateur ranks last year. Now in that heat race, I mentioned it's both Rastrelli and the 84 of Thomas Brown who are looking to be consistent race winners this year. Brown is always a spoiler. Is this the season he steps up and can win a championship?
I'm looking to win here. And it's, man, I want that red plate bad. It's always been, you know, get out of here safe. You know, that nothing's changed there. But I'm definitely looking to try to win and get a start. You know, that's been a big handicap of mine. I worked hard on it, really focused on technique, and actually more about the process of starting more than actually just doing starts all the time. So I've been trying hard. Just straight up is I need to start and let the rest of the race play out. But, you know, like I said, I'd like to see a win, but, you know, ultimately we get out here safe, but definitely want the win this year.
Yeah, that's one tough Texan right there, and there he is getting ready for heat race number 2. Nick Janusa's ready to go, and Joel Hetrick will be in this one as well, looking to avenge championship heartbreak from a year ago. Racer TV's coverage of ATV Motocross is brought to you by Rocky Mountain ATV MC and by Maxis. Daytona International Speedway, your host site, as we are ready for our second heat race of the Daytona ATV Supercross for 2019. Joel Hetrick in a run, our Rocky Mountain ATV MC on board. Hetrick wasting little time getting out front on his familiar number 88. Running that number in honor of the late Matthew Bartosik. When he isn't the defending series champ, he goes back to the 88, and he's making it look good right now. I'll be honest though, as good as he looks at this track and as fast as Hetrick can go, he has been star-crossed with bad luck at this event time and time again. In the heat race, though, looking good. Now we've got another Rocky Mountain on board with, Nick Janusa on the Gen USA machine out of New Jersey. He's trying to make passes. There he is in the red gear, just ahead of him, Thomas Brown on the white number 84. They're filing into second and third and trying to keep Hetrick in sight. Here's Hetrick on one of the long straightaways here at Daytona. Brown keeping him in check. Wolf on the 741 comes through. Brown getting that triple, just getting over the landing. And the track's starting to get rough now as we're into the second heat race, and a lot of dirt bikes logging laps on this track also. And in this soft soil, place will get rough in a hurry. As Hetrick began to extend that lead, the battle behind him was the one really heating up. As Janusa was trying to keep everyone else behind him, Wolf and Mickelson, checkered flag is out, Hetrick gets it. Give him a prime gate pick for the main. But for Hetrick, it's not just about what's coming in 2019, it's about what has already happened. A heartbreaking loss of the championship due to a broken chain and the last race of 2018. We'll catch up with him for his thoughts on that when we return. Racer TV's coverage of ATV Motocross, brought to you by Rocky Mountain ATV MC and by Maxis. Well, it sure looked like Joel Hetrick was going to make it 2 in a row as far as championships in the ATV Nationals until a broken chain cost him at the finale last year.
When the chain popped, I was going up the face of the step up and it just wouldn't go. It's still running, just wouldn't go. So I knew exactly what it was, but I didn't know that it cracked my case. So I had oil out of the trans side, you know, just pouring out. So I'm like, what am I going to do? You know, I'm just stuck. I'm in the middle of the track, push my bike off a little bit, and I was like, I'm done. I walked back to my motorhome, you know, pouting. Shouldn't have done that. There's a lot of shoulda, woulda, couldas. A lot of people out there think that it could have been a lot different, but let me tell you, it happened for a reason. That's exactly what happened. There's nothing I would have changed. The chain popped, broke my case. I thought I was done. I go back, put the chain on. At that point, I'm 11 minutes down. You know, I lost by 1 point, so if I would have gained 1 point somewhere, yeah, I would have won. But that's obviously not what was meant to happen that day. I had no DNFs for the past 2 years of racing. I've been on the podium every single race. Still made it on the podium at Loretta's. So you can't say I'm not consistent. You can't say the bike breaks. Every bike breaks. There's Yamahas that break, there's Hondas that break. Don't go telling me that quads don't break, because they all do. It's a chain. I don't know what happened exactly. I raced 3 laps of that race. So did the clip break? No. What I think happened, I went over an inside roller right in the center of my quad. Maybe a rock grabbed it, maybe something happened. I don't know, but that's what happened. It was all there for me, it's just one race. Definitely not ideal, but I don't have any control of what happens, so, you know, I did get second place by 1 point because of a mechanical issue, and that's just a tough pill to swallow when you look back. And you know, I had such a phenomenal season with, you know, plenty of hole shots and moto wins and overalls that, you know, should have finished it off with a #1, but life ain't fair, and, you know, we figured that out last year.
So that's what stands in front of Joel Hetrick for 2019. There are the Yamaha boys, Brown and Wienen. They don't want Hetrick to get that #1 plate back. Jeff Rastrelli wants to get his first. It's going to be a slugfest. We are on the line and ready for the main event at the Daytona ATV Supercross. And it's Hetrick with the whole shot. Wienen right behind him. Oh, and off the racetrack goes Brown. He was battling with Rastrelli, and Brown tried to get back on quickly. Probably lost 2 or 3 spots right there. So a 4-rider battle quickly down to 3. Rastrelli in the 3rd place spot, and then you get a great view of Wienen going after Hetrick for the lead. Look at Rastrelli putting a strong challenge on Wienen, just like he did in the heat race. And it looks like Hetrick already beginning to get away. Gonna have to watch for Thomas Brown back there. How much ground can he make up after that off-track excursion? Hetrick letting it fly in the Phoenix Racing Honda. Here's Rastrelli on the red Baldwin Honda, trying to get to Wienen. It's still pretty close, actually. A good first lap allowed Hetrick to pull a little distance, but now they are beginning to reel him back in. On board with Janusa. Oh, that's Myers, the rookie of the 24, so brilliant in his heat race, went off the track, now leading to a big battle. Janusa, Hayden Mickelson, and Myers fighting for it, and look at Janusa wrestling to get the rear tires of that Yamaha to hook up, but down to the inside, Mickelson. Bumping wheels, bumping plastic, and now it's Janusa off the side of the track. And through it all, look, making off like a bandit. Whoa, a gesture. It's Thomas Brown who gets around both of them. Mickelson, he gives a gesture towards Janusa. I'm not sure if that was an I'm sorry or if that's what you get. Wow, that was intense. It's going to be a battle for 5th now that Brown has gotten around them while they were doing all that fighting. So Brown to 4th, and then that 5th place battle wide open. Mickelson has it right now. Janusa looking to get him back. How aggressive will the pass attempt be? Janusa sweeps from outside to inside, takes a look over. Oh, it's a grudge race right now. Janusa has it, but for how long? Meanwhile, Hetrick trying to put the finishing touches on this Daytona Supercross, but he's been unlucky here in the past. Is this the year he's able to hold on and deliver? Racer TV's coverage of ATV Motocross, brought to you by Rocky Mountain ATV MC and by Maxis. Joel Hetrick on the Phoenix Racing Honda, controlling the Daytona ATV Supercross. He's gotten deep into lap traffic and has pulled away from his primary championship rival, Chad Wienen. But we've seen Hedrick crash a couple times at this racetrack in the past. Oh! Wienen gets it hung up on the berm. That berm just kept getting bigger and bigger all day long. It's filled with loam, and look, here's Jeffrey Rastrelli to take advantage of the Baldwin Honda. And just monster trucking his way through that section. Now it's actually Brown who's taken third away from Wienen, and Nick Janusa all over him as well, so that was a costly mistake. I was just saying that this Daytona track has led to problems in the past for Hedrick, but today the bad luck goes to Wienen, and he's going to have to work his way back to the podium. First rider on his list will be Brown for third. Hedrick looks good out front, got the grandstands packed on his right side. Beautiful form over the jumps. And considering last year's championship came down to 1 point, if you're Wienen, you know every pass counts. He's got to get the very determined Texan, Thomas Brown. Brown backed by his own company, T Brown 84 Training, and also running CST tires. And look at Janusa staying right in it with Wienen. Oh, Janusa would love for Wienen and Brown to get a little too aggressive with each other and maybe put it up on the podium. Oh, Wienen has an opening. Is he going to make it stick? Can he get into the corner? Yes, he does. So the Wienen Motorsports Yamaha with Maxis tires back into a podium spot. But if you're Hedrick, you don't know exactly what's going on behind you right now, but you're going to be loving it if it stays this way, taking the win and shoving a rider between yourself and Wienen, because I don't know if Chad's going to have time to catch the very quick Jeffrey Rastrelli, who is solid in second. No, the number one is going to try, though. Look at Brown staying right there in the grab bar of Wienen as we jump back on board with Hedrick. Here's Rastrelli all alone in second. Doesn't have anyone to race with right now. He's not close enough to see Hedrick. Probably doesn't hear Wienen behind him either. He's got to try to keep the pace up. Rastrelli showing you how rough this track has gotten. And luck is a factor out here. As we mentioned before, there have been crashes here before for Hedrick. You saw what happened to Wienen. You've got to try to stay consistent. Look at Brown. Brown back around Wienen. Wienen's going to try to jump past. Oh, this is the type of racing you want to see, especially with the final podium spot up for grabs. Brown just couldn't find any traction down on that hard pack on the inside, but he's going to try to slice back underneath, and he gets right in front of Chad. How did Wienen slice back around? Side by side again. This is where Wienen made the pass 2 laps ago. And he uses the inside again, trying to back in from the outside to the inside as Brown. It doesn't work. Man, that's such a great fight. Awesome to see Thomas Brown able to repass, even if it was only momentarily. Wienen showing the determination this year. 1 to go for Hedrick. All the emotions, as you saw from the interview from last year, they have not spilled over into 2019. He's ready to win and win immediately. Oh, a little mistake. Trying to get that double out of the corner for Wienen here in the blue and red. That's allowing Thomas Brown to keep it close. It's this section right here that bailed the champ out, sticking to the inside of that straightaway. That's where he was able to make the key pass to put it on the box. And for Wienen, it's all about those podium finishes. He has not ever finished off the podium since switching to Yamahas 7 years ago. That is incredible. But today a podium is all Wienen's going to get, because the victory goes to Joel Hedrick at Daytona. And you hear the panic revving celebration. Great ride by Rastrelli to take second. And there's Wienen, who outduels Brown and Janusa for third. Alan Myers, the rookie, great recovery for sixth ahead of Wolf, Hogue, Hagerson, and Rowe. Let's talk to our top 3.
We just finished up with the main event, 20 lapper, pretty brutal on everyone, but I pulled the start and never looked back. Led every lap. You know, Chad was on me for the first half of the race, and he made a little bobble, and I got a good lead and just ran consistent laps and made my way through the lappers safely as I could and quickly as I could. But it was tough. It was such a short lap that we ran into him pretty quick, and that tosses things up and it gets you thinking. But you know, I kept it cool, I kept it smart, and everything paid off today. Finally at Daytona, my first win here. It's awesome to do it, and you know, I'm going into the ATV motocross season with the red plate, and it feels great.
Here in Victory Lane at Daytona International Speedway for the first round of the ATV Motocross Series this year, and we ended up second today. It was a tough race, you know, considering how close all the times were for everybody. So we really had to work hard that moto and try to keep a good gap in between all the riders. And Chad actually made a mistake while in second. I was in third and capitalized on that. And I just had to ride really smart, and I rode smooth and rode really well in that main event. And I'm really proud of my fitness and everything with the bike. And we're gonna have a good season. It's gonna be an all-out brawl.
About midway through the race, I was trying to, you know, try out some different lines and try to find some pace of my own, and ended up climbing a berm. You know, I did everything I could today. I tried to push myself, and you know, I ended up safe, so that's the key. And we're gonna leave here third place overall, and push on to Texas and head out to the great outdoors and see what we can do. And huge thanks to my team and everybody behind me, and good day here at Daytona.
Well, Chad puts on a brave face, and everyone mentioning the great outdoors. Yeah, it'll be motocross tracks after this Supercross. But first, the Maxis race recap. And we thought we were in for a battle royal early, and we were, but it wasn't just for the lead. Look at this bumping and banging between Mickelson and Janusa for fifth, as Thomas Brown snuck by them to take fourth place away. By then, Wienen had already made this mistake, and that's what allowed Hedrick to pull away. And then Rastrelli got by. It was down to Brown and Wienen here for the final podium spot. They went at it. Two Yamaha riders, two good friends, former teammates. But finally, after this move to position himself on the inside of this long straightaway, Wienen would lock down third. Up front, no drama at all. Hard to believe. It's the first ever win at Daytona for Hedrick. And he and the family able to celebrate in the center of the world center of racing. But how will it go throughout the season? Can Hedrick reclaim his title? You know that Rastrelli, Brown, and Wienen will have something to say about that. For everyone at Racer TV, I'm Jason Wygant. Thanks for watching.